Shalom, Mr. First and foremost, I do give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Shemal, Shabbat, Shemakakadash, to belong to the apostles, and elders great millstone for teaching us this true peace and blessings to the whole elect of Israel. Yahweh is the name of the Nephilim Hebrew Hashem is the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the God's Son. Back in our lesson, and to be a quick update regarding the situation with Israel and Iran, as you had recently, I believe over 10 plus hours ago, you had Israel strike Iran, and now you have counter strikes underway, which is what they said that they would do, that they pretty much wouldn't let this go. Now there was a Twitter post where they said, remember, they struck first. So now you're seeing this situation further escalating. And what does this do? Is probably how Bashmel shot. He's the one that's stirring that pot between these nations. The explosions heard in Tel Aviv as Iran launches counter strikes on Israel, and also a few posts to go along with it. Breaking Iran's missiles continuing to break through Israel's air defense, as you see right here. So hey, the Lord is turning things up, man. This one also right here, footage of an Iranian missile making impact. Also the aftermath, and this is the main post I want right here, which I'm not sure about the validity of it, but it says the United States joins conflict in assisting Israel's defense against Iran. And you can get that within the scriptures, how the least of the flock shall draw them out. If you're paraphrasing. So the U.S. doesn't get involved one way or another. Because you also had Donald Trump pretty much saying that he wants this to, I forgot the exact things that he said, but he wants to pretty much resolve things peacefully, or something to that effect. For the exact words, but let's see. He's pretty much wanting to settle things or something to that effect. In Slovakia, I was trying to remember exactly what was said, but the involvement of the U.S. is going to happen, one way or another. And I was trying to remember that post, Slovakia. But to read into this article to go into situation, as Iran begins counterstrikes, Iran has fired hundreds of ballistic missiles towards Israel. According to state media, the Israeli military said it identified incoming missiles launched from Iran, and CNN has heard explosions in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. Now, Israel's attack on Iran. Israel earlier launched unprecedented strikes on Iran. I'm going to say Iran or Iran. This way, wherever it comes out. Targeting its nuclear program and military leaders, Slovakia. The attacks have continued on multiple cities across the nations. Iran's foreign minister said that Israel will deeply regret its attack. So they pretty much we're not going to take this line down. So you also can look at Joel. Let the weak say, I am strong. Now it's starting to stand up. Now, the Trump warns Iran. So President Donald Trump told CNN that the U.S., of course, supports Israel in its actions. Trump warned Iran earlier today to agree to a nuclear deal before there is nothing left. It's unclear if scheduled nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran will go ahead this weekend. Also just for that point, a while back, you had Donald Trump say something effective, wanting to stop war, World War III from happening, but you can't stop prophecy. Prophecy will be fulfilled, which I believe I made a lesson going into that particular post. And I was just roughly recalling what was said. I didn't say it word for word. So let's see. Read the last bit down. Military leaders killed Gen Hossein Salami and the commander-in-chief of Iran's Revolutionary Guard. So this is an act, of war. This is a war-like tactic, targeting the leaders of a other nation. And one of the country's most powerful figures was killed in the attack. Majgen Mohammed Bagheri, Iran's highest-ranking military officer, was also killed. So the Lord has turned things up, man. Like I said, I don't make this too long of a lesson. Just a quick update going to the situation at hand, because this is recent news regarding the counter strikes begin to take place. So you may see the situation further escalate, especially now with the involvement of the U.S. So you may also see other nations getting involved, and the Lord is turning things up, man. All right, so Jeremiah 15:45. The main point I wanted now says, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he had proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And this is what you are seeing. They're getting reeled in. And it says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So, though Donald Trump may be on the offense of wanting to get involved or wanting to get a deal done, as you saw what we read in the post, which I believe reference right here, says the Trump won Iran earlier today to agree to a nuclear deal. And I mentioned that post earlier where he's wanting to stop World War III from happening, whatever the case was, whatever exactly what was said within that post. But the U.S. doesn't get involved one way or another. This was all leading up to just going to that point of the U.S. being drawn in. Prophecy is going to be fulfilled, and then you can just stop it. Now let's see right here. Read that. Now let's get Revelation 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe comes quickly. So that second woe is beginning of the Second World War, and the third woe going to the Third World War. And how it says it's coming quickly, so it's approaching, and guess what? It's approaching fast. Made that point how the Lord is stirring that pot between these nations, and tensions can only get so high. It's going to reach a boiling point, which is ultimately going to be World War III. That lid at the top is going to be blown off. This is Matthew 24:2-8. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, his disciples came to him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be signs of the coming of the end of the world? Verse 4, and Yahweh shall answer and said to them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in name, saying, I know shall deceive many. So you got to be careful wherever you listen to and who you learn from. Verse 6, which is the main point. You shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See, ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but it is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. To be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrow. So this is just the start of it. As you get in the translation goes to the beginning of those birth pains. But going back to the top of the verse 6, you should hear of wars and rumors of wars. And these are telltale signs that we're nearing the end of this place. But as I see that you may not trouble, for all these things must come to pass, but it's not yet. There are still things that need to take place and play out before World War III is fully kicked off. But you're seeing the steps being taken towards it. The build-up, towards that climax, is going to be World War III, or also known as Armageddon. Now let's get these closing scriptures, and that's going to be the point. Like I said, I'm going to make a quick hit. Just an update with what's going on. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. Now says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Bad things shall speak and not lie. They would tarry, wait for it, because surely come, it will not tarry, meaning it will not delay. So these things will happen, will come to pass. And also going back to the top of the verses, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. What's that vision? Speaking of the signs, the prophecies, and we're in those appointed times. So just going to show the type of times we're in, how close we are to the end, especially as we're going to read right here, 2 Ezra 9:1-4. Hearing to be then said, measures all time diligently in itself, which is the main point I wanted. So we measure the times we're in, and we're nearing the end of this place. Now it says, and when thou see part signs pass which shall be before, then shalt thou understand that it is very same time when the highest because the visible which he made. Verse 3. Therefore when shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of people in the world, which is another telltale sign, then shalt thou understand the Most High spake those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So we're quite literally nearing the end of this place, and you're seeing major signs of it. Especially done with this conflict which you see breaking out as we speak. But that was the point right there. Quick hit through the spirit. Especially our duty as prophets, as watchmen, is to blow that trumpet, that sound that alarm. But anyone close out and give all praise, all honor, and glory to Yahweh, Shem HaShabbat, Shem Kakadash, and Shalom. See you next one, Lord's will.